G'day guys, and welcome back to the channel. We are going to get stuck into our tips for round one of the season. Opening round was, well, a bit of a disaster on many fronts, at least two fronts. A couple of games cancelled, of course, as we mentioned off the top last week, with some crazy conditions up north. And we've got, well, yeah, I went Sydney and Collingwood. I thought Sydney would be pretty safe, and then I was happy to go Collingwood as a bit of a smoky. They ended up being favourites, but that didn't work out. So off to a flying start, as always. But let's see if we can redeem ourselves for round one, and I'm optimistic. All right, Thursday night we've got Richmond and Carlton. This one will be the MCG. Very heavy favourites are the Blues. And, you know, the Tigers are going to have a pretty tough year ahead of them. They got pretty close last year. It was 5 points in it. I think it's going to be probably, times that by maybe 12 or something like that. And beyond, maybe. We'll see how that goes. But, yeah, pretty comfortable with tipping the Blues here. I think, yeah, they'll be far too strong. More so, Richmond have a fair bit of work to do. So, I'll go the Blues by 72 points. Don't know if that's a bit overkill or underselling it, but we'll see how we go. Then Friday night football, pretty good match on our hands here. We've got the Hawks hosting the Bombers, and the Hawks got the chocolates over the Swans. Very impressive win away from home, and the Bombers yet to play, but some solid pre-season form on their front. Look, I reckon Essendon would probably have good recent form over the Hawks. And I'm very interested to check. So I'm going to check. Alright, and recent times, Bombers got the chocolates the last couple of times. So, very interesting. But, gosh, hard to go past the Hawks after what they did to the Swans. So I'll go with the Hawks. Not to say the Bombers. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be, yeah, it could go either way. I don't think it's quite 92%. 8%, but we're gonna learn a lot this round. No doubt about that. It's gonna be upsets all over the shop, just wherever I haven't picked, basically. Then we have Geelong and Fremantle. This one will be at GMHBA Stadium. It's a big game. Sides that are planning on being in the top 8. Dockers. Before the game last year, where the Cats won over in Perth, it was, I think they had a couple of injuries there. Tracy was out, which was a big out. Might have had a key defender out as well. I think they won the last 3 before that, and 2 of those were at GMHBA. So it's a real danger game. I'll go Geelong. 10 games at GMHBA. There's only really the home ground side of things for me there. But Freo have been a side like the Giants as well, who have been able to trouble us there. Genuine 50-50. I don't think it's as clear cut as what it says here, but I'll go the Cats. Just hopefully, a Cats side with as much health as possible. Dockers will give us a real good run for our money, though, no doubt about that. Then we go over to the SCG and Sydney hosting the Brisbane Lions. The Swans went down to the Hawks by 20 points at the SCG, and Brisbane, the reigning premiers, well, I'm sure they'll be keen to get off to a good start. The reigning premier, I think, has lost the last 2 or 3 first round games, where the Pies went down to the Giants. Cats went down to, I'm trying to think of which club it was, Collingwood, that's right. I'm not sure if Richmond or Melbourne won round 1 2022. Recent form doesn't seem to matter here, but yeah, I feel more comfortable what Brisbane can do. Swans a bit unsettled, no Goulden. We'll see how it all goes. So yeah, I might be bucking the trend there. Alright, we've got a Saturday night set up here, Western Bulldogs and North Melbourne. Doggies have had a tough pre-season, it has to be said, on the injury front, and some personnel issues there as well. North Melbourne, haven't heard a lot about them, but they'll be looking to get their season off to a really good start. I'm going to go North Melbourne. I think if there's ever a time to get the Dogs, it'll be right now. They've got that many injuries, that many key players out. Bont's out. I'm trying to think of who else is out. Ugelhagen's definitely out for a while. And I'm pretty sure Waitman's out. They've got, just lots and lots of injuries, lots of carnage. And if North are going to be a chance to get their season off to a good start, young side tends to be start of the year where things can sort of go in the right direction. We saw when they had Clarko onboarded, they won the first 2, and then I think they lost 15 in a row after that. But so maybe some early energy for the Roos. We'll see how it all plays out. Collingwood hosting Port Adelaide. This one will be the MCG. A couple of dropped off the Pies there. What happened? Yeah, they went down to the Giants by 52 points. It was a bit of a lesson that the Pies got post clearance. Port Adelaide yet to play, but they will have a crack this time. Make their way to the MCG to have a go at the Pies. I'm happy to go Collingwood in this one. They're pretty good at the G. Their record against Port in recent times is quite strong, even at the MCG or also away at Adelaide Oval. Last 3 games of the round. On Sunday, we have Adelaide and St Kilda. Adelaide Oval. The form for the Crows is pretty strong on this front. They're pretty hard to beat over at Adelaide when they're up and firing. Good record against the Saints in general as well, I feel. So I'm going to go Adelaide to start their season off on the right foot. Then we move over to another tricky game, potential banana peel game, depending on how you look at it. Melbourne are hosting the GWS Giants. And this game, very interesting ramifications. Giants could go 2-0. Could also go 1-1. D's will be, definitely a better chance than what I see here. I feel like it's going to be within the 2-goal margin. It's hard to go past the Giants with how they performed against the Pies. And again, it's one game. It's really hard to read too much into that. In terms of what we've seen from a form line perspective, looking really strong and promising. Their pressure was great. Their work rate was enormous. And I think that'll be too good. Going to be interesting without Briggsy. So that could give Gawn the upper hand. So really, Melbourne in it up to their eyeballs. Think it'll be really close. Kind of like the Geelong one in Geelong. Then we go to the last game of the round. West Coast. They are hosting Gold Coast. What a big game it is for Gold Coast, who have had some severe trauma on the road at times. Definitely last year. They were almost unbeatable at home, but once they put their white shorts on, things got a little bit tricky for them. Really tough. I'm leaning towards Gold Coast. It's got to be their year, and we'll see how West Coast sort of start. Pretty tough one to pick, to be honest. It's always tough. You just never quite know. West Coast being a good, decent side at home's almost impossible to beat. But they're in the rebuilding phase. How far away they are, we'll wait and see. But not much exposed form for either side. So I'll go Gold Coast. Alright, that's me sorted for round 1, guys. I've gone the Blues by 72 points. Gone Hawthorn, Geelong, Brisbane, North Melbourne, Collingwood, Adelaide, GWS, and the Gold Coast Suns to collectively get the Chocolates, get their first win, their second win, if they've already played. Opening round, hasn't been this year. Don't know what they'll do moving forward. I'm not going to delve into that. There's been plenty of opinions on that. Alright, that's all from me, folks. Hope you enjoyed. Chuck down who you think's going to win over the weekend in the comments. Get amongst it. Like the video, subscribe away. Thanks for tuning in, crew, and I'll catch you on the next video.